All right, man, it's T, and we back, bro. Guess who? We're gonna do a video on Alpha Destiny himself, the fitness guru, gym lifting, diet fitness slave, bro. Yeah, man. Man, I couldn't wait to do a video on this. I saw this a bit ago, and I figured, because somebody keeps asking me, could you do another video on somebody else instead of Blaha? And I'm like, okay, man, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do one on somebody else. Like, your good friend, Alpha Destiny. Oh, I forgot. Alex Leonidas. He's using the cool name now. All right. You Alpha Des or Alex Leonidas says, road to shredded day 2, chest and triceps. Road to shredded day 2. Me personally, I'm conditioning myself. If I get shredded, this is stupid. That is part of the fake bodybuilding world. The whole shredded shit. It's garbage. It's baloney, man. Fucking people are so stupid. He's going to road to shredded, then that must mean he's injecting an anabolic to get shredded. Do you understand me? He's doing it fakely then. In the real world, with natural people, it's called conditioning. There's no such thing as I'm getting shredded. I'm getting shredded. Yeah, I can't get shredded. If I run on a fucking treadmill, I'll burn out all my muscle. My muscle will burn out. That's what will happen because I'm carrying real muscle. It isn't sarcoplasmic, dude. It isn't energy ATP. Fuck it. And then I'm going to keep renewing it. Muscles have an MND size limit, okay? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy doesn't apply to MND size limit, and nor does fat cells. Shit.
Road to shredded day 2. Today we're working up to a 1 rep max on the weighted dip. Then we're gonna hit some back down sets for hypertrophy. As you know, I'm doing a lot more calisthenics during this cut because there's a natural incentive to.
Again, during this cut, that's what the phony bodybuilders use. Us natural normal people in the normal world, we don't say that. We say things like we're conditioning ourselves. We don't do treadmills. We don't do any of those. You can, but it's gonna burn out your muscle. Unless, of course, you want to work down a lot of carbohydrates, then you'll never get lean.
Stay lean and display performance. And why not test it on an official competition lift?
Stay lean and performance. On a carnivore diet, you're going to get lean with time. Especially seafood. I do seafood and I do carnivore. I do both right now. So, wow, you could do more seafood. That would be even better, but whatever. So seafood, carnivore diet. And I just condition myself. I just do a lot of everything. It's mostly cable work because more tension, more movement. It's isokinetic, it's eccentric, it's concentric, and it's isokinetic. So it's a constant movement, okay? There's a thermogenic effect, whatever you want to call it, blah, blah, blah. And your body will change. It'll get tighter, harder, better when you condition yourself, and you'll get leaner at the same time. But trying to get ripped, like I said, that's what Blaha does. I gotta lose fat, and then when you get this, like when you get the thin skin, you look like shit because your body looks droopy like a melted candle. You understand me? Here's the thing: when naturals run on this fucking treadmill and try to lose and try to recomp or whatever you want to call it, getting ripped, their body, you're going to look like a melted candle. You're going to look like a piece of shit. What you want to do is eke out adaptations in lifting, doing cable work, high repetition sets, doing a lot of everything, splitting it up, coming back to the gym, and eating a carnivore seafood diet, okay? And no cardio, no running on treadmills or running down the street or anything. That'll burn your muscle out.
This is what it is in the sport of street lifting. Weighted pull-ups and dips.
So how is he doing it? Him? I don't know how he's doing it, bro. It could be fake. Maybe it's creatine. Maybe it's taurine. Maybe it's aminos. Maybe it's any fucking drug he's taking. I have no clue how Alex is doing his things, and I don't want to put him on the spot and accuse him really of taking anything because I don't know what the hell these people are doing out there. I can't say for sure. You have to ask these people what they're doing. Me personally, I'm not doing nothing. Carnivore and seafood. I've always been a big person, but I'm not going to burn out my muscle, okay? I have very dense muscle. I don't give a shit about I gotta get these proteins on the myofibrillar, or I gotta get sarcoplasmic, all these bullshit stuff that people are doing out there. Garbage. When I was younger, I used to be really stupid. I used to do a lot of these stupid dips. They will destroy your shoulders in the long run. They'll destroy it. My right shoulder is constantly hurting me now. I don't even know why. It's coming back to hurt me. So yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff, man. I can't even describe it. This thing just gonna mess up your joints. But like I said, the fact that he's going so heavy now, he's got a weight strapped to him. This is even more insane. It's really a body weight exercise movement. It isn't meant for you to put weight on there and see how heavy you could go on this exercise. Jesus.
Pretty good strain. I would call it RPE 9.
Here's the problem. The best thing to do here is to use a step-up ladder. Step up and lower yourself. Step up and lower yourself. Just do the eccentrics on this. It's not important. The up force is not so important.
5 tops. As you can see, the form is perfect, nice and stable. The trick that I found is you want to use...
Look at how his arms are bending and his body's going up. It's mostly the bottom part that's more important. Watch.
a daisy
See? Bottom. Now watch how he lifts himself up.
chain and squeeze
It's more in the elbow, but there's tension on the shoulder because the shoulder doesn't like this shit.
the plates with your feet and don't start the rep until the weight is not swinging like a pendulum. So this is why I sidestep it, I hold it for a brief second, Valsalva, and I'm good to go, just like a barbell.
Why does he have to go so heavy? Why is he doing this exercise if he's getting ripped? What does this exercise have to do with getting ripped? See, it's more conditioning. That's why you're doing the exercises, because you're trying to condition your body and your muscle to... It's an adaptation process. Again, doing this, whatever, the whole ripping, conditioning. I don't even know what his diet's like. I don't know what he's eating. I have no clue. You got to ask him.
Back squat. So then we do 3 plates for a set of 10. Drop.
Does he even share with you what he's eating? Does he tell you what he's eating to create this so-called rip look? You think it's going to be on a carbohydrate diet and cookies, cream and coffee all day and milk and stuff? Come on, man. And candy bars?
Put down one more time, do an AMRAP with 2 plates, and I believe I got 23 reps here, which is the most I've ever done. Some people struggle to do this in a down workout, and here I am, pumping with a fast tempo. And by the way, for those who ask, what about shoulder injuries?
This is crazy.
Notice how I'm facing the other way. I'm in external rotation, which is easier on the joint.
Here's the problem. He's adapted. When you're adapted and you do these movements, guess what you're doing? You're wearing yourself out. You're accelerated aging. You're accelerating aging, and you're wearing out your joints by doing that in an adapted state, bro. Get it? Yeah, man. Now that he's adapted, there's no more adaptations. So here's the thing. Now that you're adapted and there's no more adaptations doing this exercise, what exactly is he doing here? What is he getting exactly? A wearing out of his body, an accelerated aging, wearing it out. That's it.
And the speed, well, each rep is basically identical, and I've trained these deep joint angles with tremendous volume and intensity over many years. In fact, I've been doing calisthenics for over 10 years, if you really look at it objectively. So that's it.
He's been doing calisthenics for 10 years. I know his channel when it came out. Yeah, he's been doing some of that stuff. It's bodyweight exercises, calisthenics, man. It's not about using weight.
Now, speaking about danger, I decided to hit some behind the neck presses as my secondary press.
Why aren't any bodybuilders good at calisthenics? And why aren't these calisthenics guys good at bodybuilding? It's really simple. It's based on an adaptation system. Alex, yeah, he's good at doing calisthenics and weightlifting. Why? Because that's what he does. He does both of them. So he's good at both. See what I mean? I seen a guy in the gym recently. He's a trainer. I see him come inside the gym. He's looking at me. I see him. He sees me progressing. And I see him training people. And he was training a guy with elastics, trying to get him to do muscle ups. And I'm like, okay, muscle ups. And what good is that? You're getting good at doing what? Muscle ups. Okay. And what's the point of doing a muscle up? Are you going to do it in the street? Are you going to do muscle ups in the street? In reality, in public, there's only a couple things that you need. Swimming, you need to be good at swimming. You need to be good at running, swimming, maybe some calisthenics, maybe some gymnastics, but the whole muscle up thing, you don't really see that going on in the public, bro. You're not going to show that to some girl in a bar, or if you're in a fight and you need to run fast. If you can't run, you're fucked. And especially in the summertime or whatever, if you're swimming in the ocean, lake, you want to be able to be proficient in swimming. These things are important. And maybe some rock climbing if you're into rock climbing. I really don't know. But I think that it's good to get a lot of adaptations and very specific things that are useful in the real world. If they're not useful, then there's no point in doing them. Doing super heavy deadlifts are not important. They're not important. OHP is a good exercise, but that is not so important to go so super heavy either. It could help. It's a great exercise. Probably the hardest is OHP. Bench press, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, you know what I mean? Who are you going to show that to in the street? Look, I can bench press. Okay, where's the bench press? I don't know, man. Like I said, how heavy do you have to go on a bench press? How heavy do you need to be on a bench press? How much do you need to bench? Like, how much do you need of these things? Like, what are they for? What are you going to use them for? Are you going to use them for anything? Or do you want to just have them destroy your body over time? You understand me? I just know this. Heavy weight weakens you. So every time you do heavy weight in the gym, you go out in public, you're weakened, in a weakened state. That's why they get beat up. These guys that do these heavy weights, they all get beat up when they get into a confrontation with somebody, and they think they're so strong because they could squat and do all these heavy things, and then they've done them, it's weakened their body, then they go out in public and then they get messed up. It's crazy.
As you can see, going all the way down to the upper traps. Oftentimes, I'll see guys half repping this exercise, claiming that
Yeah, I started doing some of these behind the neck like him. They're very difficult with the bar and free weight. That's why he's not using so much weight. It's a difficult exercise behind the neck. Anything OHP, anything that you're doing standing and you're pressing is going to be very difficult for sure.
arm angle needs to be at 90 degrees, so right at the ears or right above. To me, that is a major mistake because it is inevitable that you will end up getting lower at some point, especially if you're training close to failure. And when you compare this to other movements like barbell squats and good mornings, it is normal to have your arms back in that position. So I want to strengthen these deep joint angles, which feeds
Okay, what was the point there? He threw it up in the air. He bounced it off his body and threw it up.
into my behind the neck pull-ups, my sideways extensions, squats, everything.
Here's the thing, if you drop your body down, won't the weight be up at top in the top? If you drop your body down, your arms up, the weight will be up. It's because you dropped your body down.
And in general, it's a vertical push 100% because you can't lean back. See, that's what happens with a regular overhead press. That is why it is less side delt. Not to mention that the arms are in front of the body, right? With the elbows also following that arm pad being tucked in. Well, here, you're in a more abducted position. The elbows are out to the sides, facing the walls. So you could argue it is more biased towards the side delts. And in an old school manner, this is precisely...
He's really, the grip is really close in, I guess. It's like shoulder, I don't know. It's harder to do it, a wider grip is a lot harder than a closer grip, I would suppose. I don't know, it depends, man, shit.
What the greats did, barbell overhead pressing, dumbbell overhead pressing, the chest expander. It wasn't until Vince Gironda came around that lateral raises became so popular. And you'll see in this work.
Vince Gironda? Who gives a shit about him? I remember who he was when I was a kid. I've seen these magazines. Never thought anything about him. Thought he's another drug addict. And that whole chest expander is just bullshit. It's to make money off people. It was garbage. We actually owned a chest expander. I had one in my house. I swear to God. We had one back in the day. We bought that, the chest expander. We had it. And I thought it was garbage. I played with it a couple times. Didn't think anything about it. Didn't want to have anything to do with that. Junk. It's just like elastic bands.
Workout, I don't even do them because I found it for myself, they're not necessary. Now, from time to time, I will include, especially some glute raises in this series. They will be a feature, but it's not what I credit the majority of my delt size to. So dips and behind neck presses for bulletproof shoulders and
Oh my God, I remember that. We had that bar with the with the fucking, what do you call it? The metal coil on it. You bend this bar, you can bend it in and bend it in constantly. God, it's more garbage. It's garbage.
brute force strength. Then
Look, he's doing it around his leg. This is fucking weird.
we followed up with another old school classic, which is very unconventional, and it's only a couple sessions that I've been doing this, which is
It's unconventional, definitely. It'll make you better at doing that movement. That's what the adaptation process is. It'll damage once, maybe twice if you do it, right? It'll give you, and then it'll rapidly adapt. There'll be no more damage doing that movement anymore. There will be no muscle growth, nothing going on there. No damage, no muscle growth, no more adaptations. That's it. It's over. It's over. So there's no point to keep doing it forever. You're not going to get anything out of it, but get worn out and aged.
the Power Twister Gold, and I'm using it on my leg for more stability. So it's less wrist, less specific to arm wrestling, and it's kind of like I'm doing a most muscular pose at the bottom. So I'm flexing my pecs as much as possible. This not only will help my chest crusher strength, it's also an excellent pec deck alternative. So I don't have that machine in this gym, so if you're copying this workout, that's the next best thing, or using cables. Instead, I like to favor springs. And I prefer this over flies because of the fact that I already got the weighted stretch from the dips.
You can't use that in public. It's good. Can it help you in arm wrestling? Yeah, I don't know, not particularly. You need to do specific things for arm wrestling. Now that people can see in public, you arm wrestling. And what do you need to do what do you need to do to be good and strong in arm wrestling? You need to practice at specific things with your arm to get it to become super strong by getting as many adaptations as you can so you can beat out your opponents. And then more adaptations and force production as well, lifting heavier weight. And an adaptation in getting more weight on your body and more muscle and so forth and so on. Yeah, man.
I don't need to go any deeper. The length position was emphasized to the max. Like when you hit 5 plates, you don't need anything else, okay? And the short position is easier on recovery. So I'm trying to get stronger overall and blend the movement patterns. And then
He's trying to get stronger overall, or he trying to get bigger and stronger? Like, what exactly is he trying to get? Is he trying to get physically stronger so his natural strength increases, or is he trying to get more force production? See what I mean? See what I mean? It's based on an adaptation system to get physically more naturally stronger. It's based on adaptations, and it only happens once or twice in the movement. And then it rapidly adapts, and this damage diminishes. It goes away.
hit some overhead extensions with chains, but I didn't set them up correctly, so all the chain was off the ground. Way too heavy. I only got like 4 reps. So do a drop set immediately after.
I don't know anybody that does 30, 40, 50, or 60 repetitions, or even 80, 90, or 100. Can you do 100 repetition doing weights? Like, can you do a set of 100 repetitions? I'm talking about straight in a row, no rest. Can you do that? Of course you can. Will you get an adaptation if you do that? Of course you will. See what I mean? Let's say you've run through all these exercises already. You've gone through all of them. But it's always the same thing, 10 reps, 5 sets, 10 reps, or 12, whatever. Think about it. If you were to do the same sets, but then you've increased the reps. Let's say you start with 60, the highest repetition you could go with the exact same weight like he's got here. But instead, his first set is 60. And then maybe on the next set, he might feel a little bit weaker because now he got a new adaptation. How? Muscle damage. And what is associated with muscle damage? Reduced force capacities, movement restriction and range of motion, pain, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so as you're moving through the exercise, I don't know about too much pain, but there's the force production is going to start to go down, and the range of motion, it's going to get less and less. So you could go from 60 to 50, 40, 30, and 20, and then quit. That's it. You'll eke out a new adaptation because you've never done it before. It's unfamiliar. And you'll get stronger because you never did that before. You'll get a repair and a remodeling.
After trying to control the weights I'm actually letting the elbows flare because that is easier on the joints. This idea that they need to be overly
Here's the thing. A lot of guys right now are doing 20, they're trying to shoot for 15, maybe 20 reps on the OHP. Doing like 135 OHP, I'm going to shoot for 20 repetitions. Okay. So let's say you could do 135, 20 repetitions. So what's keeping you from doing 30 reps or 40 or 50 or 60 at 135? See what I mean? What would happen if you were able to eke out 60 reps, or let's say 40, 50 reps on the OHP at 135 pounds? Will you get stronger? Yeah. How will you get stronger? Through an adaptation, a repair, and a remodeling. Get it, man? Jesus. But you'll increase force production through motor unit proliferation and these androgen receptors. Yeah, man.
then to hit the triceps is pure nonsense. The forearm is the operating lever, and it doesn't matter which direction it is bending in. As long as you're doing full range of motion.
Again, he's so adapted to these exercises. That's why he doesn't really change. That's why he kind of quit, and I think he faked it. He's doing something. I'm not sure what.
You're good to go. So do what is easiest on your build, and understand that with barbells, by design, it is restrictive because the elbow.
Do easiest what is for your build. I don't get it. This is not a relatively super heavy weight what he's doing here for his triceps. There's like, I think they're 25, I can't tell, maybe they're 10 or 25 pound fucking plates on each side. Let's say they're 25 pounds, and that bar right there, I don't know. Maybe it's 30 pounds or something, okay? Maybe 35, 30, maybe 30 pounds. Because the regular bar is like 55, so maybe this is like 35, 40, I don't know. Whatever. So this is not relatively heavy. Can you actually do 60 repetitions doing this? Yeah. On your first set, you're able to do possibly 60. So what's stopping you? What's stopping you from doing 60 reps? Oh, that's too high. Oh my God, that's too high. That's high volume. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, boo hoo, boo hoo.
Want to come out to the sides, yet they are forced in. So the only way to work around this is by either flaring your elbows or skipping the lockout. So feel free to try both. And of course, with the dumbbell version, this is even better. Now, second set, drop the weight a bit, really controlling the negative, holding the bottom, and not even exploding the concentric either. Very similar to what I did with the easy bar curls. I find you kind of have to control your weights when you're doing isolated extensions. Otherwise, you can develop tennis elbow. So if you're prone to any pain or you have hypermobile elbows,
no, that's not what you're getting. You're getting a buildup of oxalate crystals in the joints because you guys are eating an unnatural diet. These fruits and vegetables, they're filled with oxalates, and that's what happens. They build up there. They cause those pains, those problems. It's not tennis elbow. No such thing exists.
You do it. Now for the final exercise, we're doing classic V-bar pushdowns. Again, not the best in terms of alignment, but I love the stability profile and how simple this is to execute. See, with dual ropes, your form can change, especially
all that trap work he used to do. Remember, like 1,500 pound, whatever, weird rows, or 1,200 or something, piling all the plates and making it bounce on his traps up and down. Where's his traps? There's no traps. There's no traps. All the heavy weight. I thought heavy weights build muscles. Remember all those crazy heavy weights he tried lifting? He tried lifting it. Nothing happened.
As you fatigue, there's that spreading force to overcome. So I actually prefer doing them one arm at a time. But in this case, I wanted a bilateral movement that I can go relatively heavy on, and I do it off the knees to get more range of motion at the top, so I can fully bend the arm, get a better stretch. Now, just like the extensions, I'm doing these strict. The main benefit here is that I don't have to wear a belt to weigh myself down, because that is what will happen when you exceed around 2 plates. So
I don't need to weigh myself down with a plate. Fuck, I can do a reverse bench press pressing over 400 pounds, and it's still not going to pull my weight up. I can still push it down, and it's not going to pull up my weight.
I worked up to 115 for reps. I found that it was...
I did a video on it. I showed it. I did 350. I pressed it with a straight bar, the cable, the machine. Yeah. And what? Somebody asked me, that should pull up your body weight. You're only 250. That's like 350. You should put up your body. No, it's not. It's not pulling up my body weight. Even the pull down, I could pull the whole stack. Behind the neck pull downs. I can do the whole stack. It's not really pulling up my weight. Yeah, I don't even know how much there is on there. There's more than 300 or something. I don't know.
Not efficient, and it became very difficult to progress on. Although that is when my arms were their biggest ever, 17.2 inches. If I can work up to that again while being shredded, wow, I can't imagine how impressive these tries will look. Although you can already see the gains. So we'll see if I can reclaim my best isolation strength, but for now, in a compromised state of recovery, given the
I see no gains. I don't see really any gains. Very small, but okay.
calorie deficit, overloading is not the number one concern, except for the compound movements in which going heavy is perfectly fine. And I do want to see where I stand as a calisthenics enjoyer. Not to mention that many of the competitors are also similar body fat. So let's see how
Hey, look at Alex. She's looking really cutesy here, eh? Damn.
long I can hang. But that's it, guys. Simple workout, no fluff. Stay tuned for the next one. It's gonna have different
I
variations
wanted to see him do that double bi. It looks funny.
of these exercises.
All right.
This has been the most extraordinary.
I guess it's over, man. I'll see you in the next one. Tell what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Yeah, Alex Leonidas. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting. He's getting ripped, bro. I didn't see him do any cardio, so maybe you should just say it's conditioning. I'm not doing cardio, so yeah. Straight carnivore, seafood, and just conditioning and using a lot of cable work. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.